Hey, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? We got some things to talk about, obviously, but we're going to let you guys guide the show. And so getting busy in the chat and all that kind of stuff. But another tie. We can't seem to win at New Stadium. So we'll get into that and give thoughts and opinions, get your thoughts and opinions. But of course, I don't do this by myself. Everybody say hi to everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Ed. How you doing, Ed?
Peter Brown, how you doing, man? They're excited. Yesterday I was like really dead. I'm taking some medication because I was a little sick or whatever, and that thing gets me drowsy. So
Oh,
like
man.
all afternoon, all afternoon I was napping.
I mean, you were a zombie yesterday. You
I
were a
was, man.
zombie yesterday. It was very different. I mean, it's not like you're super high energy normally, but you were like just sitting in your chair.
I was
We're
dead.
we're tailgating, folks. We're tailgating. Now we get to the stadium pretty early. I mean, we're getting there. These guys get there a little bit before 3, I think. I'm strolling
Yeah,
in around from the Tri-Rail station and then doing the walk. I'm probably getting to your car closer to 3:20, 3:30, right? And this guy
yeah.
is sitting in his chair, just like kind of like this, Weekend
Yeah,
at
I
Bernie's
was
style. Weekend at Bernie's
no
style, right there.
beer. Yeah. I didn't have a beer. I mean,
No,
even everyone was surprised. It was tough, man. Not seeing you guys drink and me not being able to do anything was. I mean, otherwise, yeah, it would have been like, a Bernie, that movie.
yeah, Weekend at
You guys
Ed's.
would have to carry me. Yeah,
That's right.
that's what it would have been.
Weekend at Ed's. All right, well, yeah. So we had fun at least at the game. So we'll get into that, and then any other topics you guys might want to talk about. But before we get into all that, let's say a thank you to our sponsor, and that is Caneswear. Caneswear is located in Davie, Florida, just south of 595 on University Drive. Go support a local business. Buy all your Inter Miami gear at Caneswear. If that's too far to drive, go to caneswear.com. All orders over $99 ship for free. And trust me, it's easy to spend $99. These jerseys are expensive, but they got lots of great sales. So go there because you can definitely get a good sale. You can also give us a call. I don't know if we have any voicemails yet. Not yet, but if you want to give us a call, leave a voicemail 786-474-4435. We'll get that on the line on the air for sure. But
Yeah.
let's say hi to those folks that are here already and in the chat. First person I saw here was Kata. What is happening with new stadium? Spooky. I still blame players and coaches for constantly losing the plot. All right, we'll get into that. Sports Shorts is here. Disappointing how the lead up to the new stadium was and how he just can't get a win. All right. Louis Rodriguez is here. Kevin Gonzalez. No home cooking at new stadium. Oh, yeah, Mr. Krabs. FIFA highlights 921. Why are we struggling? Yep, we'll get into that. Mike V. Haven't seen Mike V in a while. If Rocco was playing, we'd be winning. He's the talisman. All right. Our friend from Atlanta, a new Weissman. What is going on with Atlanta? Not only are they just not very good, nobody seems to care about Atlanta. Ed, have you seen any of their games or highlights or anything? I think it's just
Nothing.
I think the only people in the stadium are like Anu and his 5 buddies. It's
I don't know.
empty.
Something's up with that. Yeah, something's up with
Empty.
that.
One World, one goal is here. Francisco saying hello. And Anthony Lopez. And then this is Tabaquito. Can't have
For
horses run
you.
to speed in the final third. We need a way to unleash the horses. All right. And Ash Pretum is here. Any good insider info on the next DP, I think is what he means, DP. And our buddy Caesar, who was at the at the game with us at the tailgate, watching Ed fall asleep in his chair.
He
Try
was
to stay
there. He was
positive that
there.
these last 3 ties are better than losses. So we could get to like the like Louis mentioning something about the midfield and all that. We can get to that in a minute, but let's just talk about this building because when I came over the thumbnail and I said frustrations building, part of that was because of an image I saw of Messi, and then part of it was me thinking double entendre being the building, frustrations with the building. So,
All right.
is do we know the history of that land that Chase, or I'm sorry, that new stadium was built on? I mean, I know it was a golf course. Before that, they in the I think in the 30s or 40s there was a site of an incinerator, and that's where all the ash came from. Um, I mean, is there also some ancient air in burial ground that it's
It,
been built on? I mean, is this stadium cursed? Because we are supposed to have some home field advantage. It's supposed to be a fortress, Ed, but they do well on the road. Look, we can't sit here and say, oh, the sky is falling, because look, they looked good in Salt Lake and in Colorado, so they can play well, but they can't seem to put it together here at New Stadium, Ed.
Something is up, Peter Brown, because yeah, we just can't get a win. I mean, next week we need to beat Orlando, and I'm going to suggest to people. We were talking about it. We did it before with the Strikers. They went through a long period of time where they tied, so we started wearing ties.
We did. We went to the Strikers games wearing ties.
yeah. So I gotta look for a pink tie. I'm gonna wear it next game. Just because we need to stop tying.
I have a
I'm
black
gonna wear
tie
a tie
that's
until we
got
win.
I've got a black tie that's got some pink polka dots. They're small. It's mostly a black tie. There's some pink polka dots on it. Look,
Might
sports
have to.
shorts may have nailed it. Our young viewer here may have nailed it. The curse that is on New Stadium may be related to the fact that they still do not have cup holders.
That's what it is. That's what it is. We need cup holders, and man, did
Maybe
we need them. I mean, this past game. I mean, I saw a lot of people fumbling. Dropping their beer, and that's expensive beer, Peter Brown. 18 beans plus.
1875 to be exact, Ed. 1875. Let's
Right.
just round that up to $19.
Yeah, 19 beans right there,
Let's just
and
round
you
that
got a
up.
discount. If you guys didn't check our game day vlog,
Yeah.
go check that out. You get to see Peter Brown complaining about we tying again, that he wants to stay at what's it called, Lockhart, or the Fort Lauderdale Stadium, because I don't even know if it's got a name anymore. Just because we won a championship there.
I
Well,
mean,
we actually win there.
can
I
we
see
talk
where you're
about
coming
that?
from, Peter.
Can we talk about
Do
that?
it.
Can we
Do
say
it.
that? Look, maybe it is a good idea to go back. Now, on the other hand, we did lose to Nashville there this year, right? I'm not saying we win all the time, but we've got a pretty good record at Chase Stadium, Lockhart, whatever you want to call it. We got a pretty good record there. Can we go back? They still have I think some of the corner seats. They still got the stadium's still there. Can we go back? Can we play at least one game there to get like our mojo back? It's like gotta click our heels and go home.
Right. I don't know. I'm not for it. I love that we're so much
Well, yes,
closer. I
because you don't
mean,
want to drive to Fort Lauderdale.
yeah, I did it for a few years, man. I used to do it for the
Oh, you've done it
Strikers
for a
back
long
in the
time.
day.
There's no question.
Yeah, so I support my local team, but I'm kind of happy that it's so close. I mean, Peter, we get there with Julio. What, at 3 p.m.? I mean, the guys at the gate are like, what are you guys doing here? It opens at 3:30, and we're like, no, it doesn't. We know more than they do. We're like, it's at 3 p.m., man. It's on the website, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, go. We've been the first ones every game so far.
Yeah. Yeah, they there's a lot of things that the staff there still needs to learn. We were mentioning the coupon and me complaining and things like that. And there was actually a comment from someone in the chat saying that they had a hard time cashing in that $10 coupon for riding Tri-Rail or Metro Rail or bus. Whatever, you ride any of those and you can get this $10 coupon. We were told when we picked up the coupon that it's good at any vendor that has a person. So in other words, you can't use it at the grab and go. And there's a lot of grab and goes. You can't use it at the grab and go, but you can use it at any place that there is a person. However, not every person is properly trained on that. So, like my
Right.
situation, I mean, I was waiting behind Caesar, and Caesar was ordering his beverage, and it took forever. I'm like, man, I know he's getting a rum and Coke, and the guy's got to mix it, but it's only 2 ingredients, right? Rum and
Right.
Coke. It can't take that long. And then when it got to be
Yeah.
my turn, I realized why it's taking so long. The guy didn't know, basically did not know how to ring up the $10 coupon. So in his mind, he's like, well, then let me just find something that is, equivalent to what you would normally pay for with your discount. And so he charged me for a $8 water, which that's crazy.
Right.
$8 water, which then, I'm paying for like a $19, beer. So,
Drink.
I basically got my coupon was basically worth $10.75 if you really think about it.
It worked
I got
out.
over on him, Ed.
Yeah. But yeah, they definitely need to be trained on that.
Yeah.
I also saw that Julio was having a problem with his season ticket discount because
Mm,
I don't know if you guys know, but you get a discount for being a season ticket member, and there's just like a little QR code that he uses.
yeah.
But it took them forever to get that done. So
Yeah.
they I don't know if they need some more training or it's already 3 games in. They should get these things down pat. Peter Brown.
Yeah, and we'll have a video coming out later this week where I don't really talk about that per se, but I do talk about kind of the operations. Really, it's a video talking about lines. Somebody had made a comment on one of our videos that, hey, we should show in our game day vlogs some lines, like so people can get. And I thought, hey, that's a decent idea for a separate video. So while Ed was doing the
Yeah.
game day vlog that you can watch now, I went around and there's part of the game day vlog where you hear Ed going, "We lost Peter." Well, that's because I was filming my own video, and so
He didn't say anything.
no,
He didn't
I
say
just
anything. He
drift.
just
I
disappeared. I
just
was like, where'd he go?
I just drifted
Abracadabra.
away.
Peter's gone. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
know where
maybe he was having a.
I know where we sit.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what we figured. But, he just disappeared. So,
yeah,
that was kind
but
of weird.
in that video. I am talking about the operations, how the operations are getting better because we see some. Well, I focus on the lines, so we'll talk about that. Hey, so getting back to to this game. And talking to some of the folks, Boss Daddy mentioned that as far as the upcoming game, don't worry that he's coming down from Orlando and he's bringing a win with him. Hey, the last time we
It's the least.
saw Boss Daddy was at the MLS Cup Championship. Just pure coincidence that he was sitting behind us, and we won. So
Well, hopefully he tailgates with us. We're always in, and for everybody else that
yeah.
goes out there, we're there bright and early. Usually the first ones in the yellow lot, close to the store, so you guys could see us there. We had a number of people come up to us.
Yeah. I mentioned it's closest to it's the yellow lot closest to the store. Now, and I say that because what you guys didn't even realize, me and Caesar noticed it and brought it up to you in that where the supporters clubs are parked, which is the bridge, Ed, that little bridge where we would
Yeah,
see all the dinosaurs.
right.
And then there was a little parking lot right there where employees normally park. Well, they're parking right there for the supporters clubs.
Mhm.
That's actually called yellow lot as well. So just to not be confused, I don't know. I think it should have a different color, but it's called yellow lot as well. But the yellow lot, the main yellow lot, is where Ed and Julio go.
They Peter, they ran out of colors, I guess. I mean, because there's 2 yellow lots, just doesn't make sense
I
to
don't know.
me.
There's
And they
not
got the
enough colors
black
in the
lot.
rainbow.
I don't know, but it
I
was
don't know.
kind of weird.
I've seen the color wheel. There's a lot of colors on there. Um, all right. So getting back to the game, Tabaquito says, style, Inter Miami style currently does not fit the mix. So my
Yeah.
thoughts so far is, I know a lot of times we love to blame the defense. And I've talked about this several times. I just feel like I'm always repeating myself on this channel. And the defense obviously has got some things to work out at times. But overall, they're pretty good. Their biggest issue with the defense is they push up too far and they get stuck up there and they got to haul butt back. That's the biggest issue. And that's management. That's tactics. But
Right.
I think the bigger issue is the midfield. There's no link and with I think we're missing
Yep.
Busquets. We didn't realize how much Busquets does. And of course, Jordi Alba with him on the wing. But you just don't realize how much he did in finding those passes and moving the ball, from the defense to the offense. And so because it's like we'll have possession the entire game, but we really, like I said in the game day vlog, there's no bite. There's just, there's not. There's some, like, okay, we've scored some goals. I mean, yeah, we scored a goal, but with the amount of possession, with the amount of opportunities we have with Messi, who had a bad game. We should have more goals to show for it.
Yeah, I agree. We should have. He's had shots too, but I think what they did, New England did was shut him down pretty well. Everybody would jump on him, not give him an easy shot. He took a couple of shots. He even took a right-footed shot, which I thought was impressive. It went over the bar, but still he's resorted to using his less the leg that he uses the least. So that's forcing him to do some changes, and he's been missing. We're used to him scoring goals, man. I thought we were gonna win that one. I was like, Messi's gonna do his magic. No, he didn't. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Messi definitely looked tired, maybe in this game. Not his best. Everybody's allowed to have a bad game, but when your entire team is centered around one player, he kind of can't have a bad game. So
Right,
you
right.
know,
And what is refreshing is Berterame scoring.
3 goals in
So
4 games.
that's
So he's finally.
yeah. So that's he's yeah. I think he just needed to start scoring, and hopefully now he'll at least give us a goal a game, man. That's we need that.
I mentioned this during the game. I like the way Berterame plays when Suarez is on the field. He links better with Suarez than he does Messi, which is crazy to think, but they obviously think alike, work together well.
Yeah,
Two
I
two
do
of
remember you saying that.
Berterame's goals are thanks to Suarez.
Right. And Suarez's goal last week was because of Berterame.
There you go. It goes both ways.
Yeah, yeah. So it's good. I was
Tabaquito
concerned
says
that they. Mhm. Go
he
ahead.
says we don't have the mix to play the tiki taka.
Maybe, yeah. Even though Suarez could play that way, but he was, not as active as he was, coming on the field in the second half in the last game. So, yeah, his he doesn't have the legs for it, man. That's for sure.
Here, Lee is brings up a good point, and so this is kind of like we're not. I don't think we are in panic mode, but it's something to think about. Inter Miami are second in the league. Why on earth are we in panic? Anyone panic? Good point. We're second in the league, but when you don't have any wins at home, it does get concerning. But yet somehow we're second in the league, which is second in the East, which
And
is
it's because
great.
we're winning away. And that's interesting that now I wish we played away all the time so we could keep getting those points.
I mean, we've only lost one game, right? So that's
The first one.
yeah. So we're not playing bad by any stretch. It's just when you were the champion and you have Messi, you have certain expectations.
Right.
And we're spoiled in that regard, right? So hang
We
on
want to
real
keep
quick
winning.
here. We got a super chat from our buddy Caesar. $5 super chat. Thank you,
All right.
Caesar. Orlando will bring big numbers with their supporters, and we need to drown out their noise. Number 76 and number 59 were great subs in the second half. Ed,
That
can
they
you
were those kids. The kids. We were just calling them the kids because we didn't know what the hell we didn't remember their names. But
remember
yeah,
their names?
no, I can't for the life of me. But they were good. Those kids were good. They were hustling. They were hungry. One got a shot at goal, which was impressive. Everybody oofed. You know how that goes. So they look good, man. I'm so excited with the youth that we have in the academy. That's coming up, and man, maybe we need to bring more of those kids up.
Yeah, plan back here. He's pretty young. I don't know exact age, but he's pretty young. Comes from the Inter Miami too. He's on a short term loan. He's the one that we were most impressed with. He's a blonde hair kid that came in and
Yeah,
instantly. I mean, he took that shot. He took a shot that the keeper had to make a nice save on. I mean, kid's not
yeah,
scared to take a shot. I mean, that's got to be kind of scary to step out onto that field with Messi, with Suarez, with DePaul, and in that beautiful stadium. It must be
Yeah.
scary for him. And he did not look scared. He looked great. He looked like, yeah, we should. It will be in no time. No time will he be signing an actual contract. Like, because the other guy that came in that you were trying to remember his name is, and I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but Abadia.
But
Um,
yeah, yeah,
he already has been promoted from the two team to the first team. He's got his contract. I remember when that was announced, and we've seen him a couple times coming in the late game or in definitely we saw him in preseason. So
yeah.
and he looked good as well. But I think I was more impressed with Planbeck.
That kid was good, man.
So
That was
yeah,
a
so
good
we're
one.
second in league. So the sky is not falling for sure, but there are reasons to be concerned. And when I say frustrations building, I'm not just talking about the fan base. Messi walked off that pitch right away, didn't really give anybody any time. You can tell when Messi's frustrated. He literally just walks off the pitch. He's like, I'm not giving anybody my shirt. Just walks off the pitch. I'm not sure if he exchanged shirts or not this time, but you could tell at times when he's frustrated. So there could be frustrations building, not just with the fan base, but with the players. Is Messi feeling like he doesn't have the support around him that he needs? Is he really missing Busquets and Alba? Is he realizing
Yeah.
now that maybe his buddy DePaul wasn't the right choice? You see him several times throughout a game, or at least once or twice throughout a game, every game, having comments with DePaul. Sometimes it's telling DePaul to calm down because DePaul
Yeah.
likes to get upset at other players when he makes the mistake.
Right.
And
And he's been making a lot of mistakes.
yeah, yeah. Kata says, as far as coaching, which is a valid concern here, Hoyos had no presence or the class of a coach, much less a sporting director when he talks. He does seem like a nice guy, but boot him out. So I was saying to you guys in the in the tailgate or whatever, or in chats, like the last during the the Colorado and Real Salt Lake games, I thought, he did well with the tactics. And I liked what I saw. So I was actually kind of saying, I hate to say it because I don't want to root for Hoyos. I don't think he's the right coach for this team. I don't like the fact that he is literally just, you know, Messi's do boy. I don't
I
like that.
agree. I agree.
I know Messi's going to have a lot of control on the field and in the locker room. Of course he is. But I want to have a manager that can at least confront him, which reports are, I read something in The Athletic, reports are that Mascherano and Messi had many arguments. And they were saying, in the report, it says, don't blow it out. It wasn't a big deal. It's just two competitive guys. That's normal. They have arguments. But the fact that Mascherano, even though I don't think he was the best coach either, he at least had the ability to confront Messi and challenge him at times, where Hoyos is not doing that.
Right. He's basically going to say whatever you say, boss, and he's going to roll over and expect his his chest to be scratched or something, his belly to be scratched. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It's going to be it's tough, Peter. Hopefully this isn't their answer. Yeah, I want him to succeed, but at the same time, I'm afraid that they're going to say, "Oh well, he's cheap. Let's keep him around and you know uh,
But
give him a chance."
do you think they would have that kind of thought process? Oh, he's cheap. This ownership seems to have no problem spending money. And
They
there's no
spend a lot
salary
of money
cap.
though.
There's
Yeah,
no salary cap on a coach, so they can spend whatever they want.
yeah, but they spend a lot of money on everything. So maybe they're like, this is kind of a relief.
I mean, look, like any interim coach has a chance, right? You
Right,
always are like, if you're an interim coach and you do well, you can't fire him, right? I mean, that would be stupid. It's happened, but um,
but he'll probably keep his position. So,
He'll stay in the
right now,
inside the club for sure.
right, right. So
Ycia
it's all
says
good.
Messi should let appointed coach do their job. Yeah, I don't know if he has that in him. Um, Also, he's yelling at players, probably like, "Hey," kind of saying, "Is he saying, hey, I'm an owner too. Shut up and listen to me. I'm not only the best player in the world. I'm an owner, future owner."
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah,
maybe there's some of that as well. Tabakito saying Hoyos is a puppet. I want a coach that is not a puppet. Now, no matter who it is, you're going to be a little bit of a puppet to Messi. Always, it's going to be that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs
There were some
says.
people. Mhm.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs says that's the problem with Hoyos. He doesn't have the cojones to confront the players. What were you saying, Ed?
I lost my train of thought, Peter. Remember, I'm on medication, so I forget things and I get drowsy every so often. So if I fall asleep, just yell.
Everybody in the chat, keep him awake. um, Kata does mention keeping the coach would be against what Jorge promised. We can't waste Messi's last years. There you go.
I just remembered, Peter. I was going to say Mourinho. Some people are saying Mourinho would be awesome. I
Look,
don't know about that.
yeah, I don't know about that either, but
Money.
I think it's pretty clear that um, they're going to at least wait till the end of the World Cup because they'll have more potential coaching, hires.
Opportunities. Yeah.
People more, yeah,
Yeah.
more open, more people they could talk to. So, they. So I think they'll wait till then. But here's my thing: is of course I obviously want my team to win and I want them to win, but if we could stay in second or third place and I'm trying to think, how do I say this? I don't want to say purposely lose, but just maybe I just want to just scrape by. For the next, month or two, let's just scrape by because I want to make it clear to the ownership that Hoyos is not the answer. If he does all of a sudden go on a winning streak, we may have him for the rest of the year. So I don't want
That's
that.
the thing.
I want us to just barely scrape by and maybe get a win here or there. I want for the next month and a half us to have to continue questioning it because I want to change. And if he does turn around and win, there won't be a change.
Yeah. I'm worried about that too. Hopefully, they have their mindset on getting a new coach because I don't think Hoyers is the one. Though I have seen his resume. He does have a few, teams that he was coach of. That he coached in
Yep.
Mexico. He coached in Bolivia. He
Jacksonville.
saw Jacksonville, one of the highlights of his career, I'm sure. But yeah,
All right,
that's
let's
interesting.
let's hear one thing real quick. Let me just touch this. Do you think that new stadium is cursed? No, not really. That's just me joking around. I on the comments on some of the comments from your game day vlog, I've been playing around with people saying that it might be cursed. But do I honestly think that? No, but it's fun. Um, so something Francisco says: Inter Miami spent a tad too much on very normal players, i.e., Allende and Bertarame. So Bertarame, he was several teams were interested in Bertarame. He's done well. He's done well in Champions Cup. He was supposed to be a big signing. It makes sense that they went after him. Maybe he wasn't the right player for this team, but I bet you put him on a different team and he's lighting it up. And maybe right now he's going to start lighting it up. He's 3 goals in 4 games. Not bad. Like it's turning around a little bit. Allende, on the other hand, let's talk about him a little bit because what we have to remember, most of the season last year, we were upset at Allende. Most of the season. That when he first became a player with Inter Miami, for the first 2 games, he looked good. And then there was a huge drop off. And then the last quarter of the season, all of a sudden, he lit it up and he was an amazing player. And, but it's not just him. It goes back to that Busquets midfield type of thing. he's not getting the passes, if Busquets isn't finding Messi at the right time and then Messi finding Allende at the right time, that connection's not happening. So I don't know how much it's Allende's fault and how much is it the players around him. But Allende is off right now. We're getting last season's Allende right now. We're not getting the championship run. We're not getting playoff Allende.
Where he was on fire. Yeah. Well, he did score yesterday. It was an offside call. I don't know. I saw the video. You
It
guys could
looked
see it
on.
in the vlog.
It looked onside to me. I rewatched it a couple times. It looked onside to me.
It looked onside. I think they should have challenged that. We could have won the game because of that, but it is
Challenge.
what it is.
Wait. Challenge it. Are we introducing a new rule, Ed? Are we gonna have challenge flags like they have in the NFL?
Well, they could have, said, hold on a second, do what's it called,
They did do.
VAR or
They
whatever.
did.
They did. Oh well, that
Yeah,
was
because if
pretty
you
easy.
remember, I was not yet in my seats. And right when I
Yeah,
sat down, you said, "Hey, you missed it." But right when I was walking to our seats, I saw on the video screen it said checking for potential offsides. Right, so they did check it, and they checked it
yeah,
very quickly though. So the VAR
yeah.
staff obviously felt like there was not enough there to overturn
hmm
the head referee. Because
I
remember
don't know.
they
You
don't
guys
have
could
to.
check it.
Yeah, he
You
didn't go
guys could
check it.
check it in the highlights. You guys could, check it in our vlog. You could see it. It looked like he was onside, but it didn't count.
Yeah.
So, but Allende did score that one. Yeah, he kind of pushed it in, but it was, it was still his goal. Would have been his goal.
Um. Tabaquito says they should have spent the money on Baltazar, who seemingly connected well with Silvetti. Yeah, Baltazar was good. I don't remember the financials. Like, did it make money? Did it make sense to bring
I
in Baltazar? But here's the thing with Allende: you had to bring him back. If you didn't bring him back, we were playing like this right now, we would all be yelling at the computer, at the TV or whatever. We would all be yelling like, "Why didn't you sign Allende? Didn't you see him in the playoffs? Look how amazing he was. You're a fool to not have signed him. Pay him whatever he wants." We would have been crying. It's easy to sit here now after the fact and say it was a mistake. Had they not done it, I think most of us would be bitching and moaning that they didn't do it, just like we are about Baltazar. And you obviously couldn't sign both. So I mean, I think they
right.
had to sign Allende.
Yeah. Okay, I think so too. I mean, especially after that playoff run that he did, I think he was
Yeah.
on fire. Unfortunately, yeah, like every player, they could have their ups and downs, and his downs, I guess, take longer than his ups.
Boss Daddy is saying for Baltazar they wanted $5 million, which was I'm
They,
assuming we paid less for Allende. See, I all that kind of stuff. I'm old, so I forget things. I knew how much we paid for all these players at one point when it happened. I remember it, but then I forget it because I'm old. So, um, here I saw a comment from everybody's favorite photographer. Anybody knows football would have said DePaul is no playmaker or a Busquets type of player. Yet they did bring him in for that, right? So that's a mistake on bringing that. Yeah. So this is going back to like, hey, we're bringing in players to make Messi happy. I mean, we don't obviously know the behind the scenes. Did Messi push for this? Is he like, hey, bring in my buddy, or does the management do it just because that's what they think Messi wants?
yeah,
I mean, we don't know because we're not there. Will we ever know? I mean, who's someday we need to hear there needs to be a tell-all book someday. Once Messi's
hmm
gone, there needs to be somebody that works inside the team that doesn't mind losing their job and do a tell-all book of what really happened. Bum bum bum
yeah,
behind the scenes. We need one of those. It'd be
yeah.
juicy. I bet you there's good stuff.
Somebody that wants to make some money,
Yeah.
that way with a
Like
book,
find
and
out
we'll buy it.
why did Alba really leave the club?
Right.
Things that make you
Something to make you go,
go,
hmm.
There's
I'm with you
more
on
to
that
the
one, Jimmy.
story. There is more to the story, Ed.
There's something there, man. There's something there, and we want to know.
Um,
But yeah,
FIFA Highlights has been asking this question. I saw him in the chat asking maybe once or twice. Should I go to the Inter Miami versus Orlando City game? Hell yeah. Big rivalry. It'll be a lot of fun. The rivalry is getting bigger. I think we constantly say, and I was talking to Caesar yesterday about this, I stand by this. Orlando cares more about us than we do about Orlando. We live rent free in their brain. They love just to talk crap about, that our stadium is garbage, even though everybody says it's the best in the league. They love to say that we're Inter Fort Lauderdale, like that's supposed to be some insult. I don't know. Fort Lauderdale's pretty nice. I don't know why it's an insult.
Yeah.
We live rent free in their head. We don't really think that much about them, but it will be a fun game. So yes, go.
Yeah, it's definitely a good rivalry. And I don't think it's. Well, I think we have a bigger rivalry with Nashville at this point, but they do play better when they're playing us. So there's always that, that fear that they could get a result against us. But yeah, I think hopefully that will be our first win at home in
Yeah.
Miami.
Couple comments I want to get to here. Kata saying DePaul is more of a box to box. Casamedo can't come soon enough and bench Falcone. I've seen a lot of people complaining about Falcone. He wants Lujan, who is a good at center back. So Lujan, I think, has had a better year this year than he did the previous year. We hated Lujan, but he's doing
Yeah,
okay. I think
I
I think Falcone's getting a bad rap lately. People have been giving him a hard time. I think the biggest issue with Falcone, and sometimes the same thing with Mikael, is again they're pushed up so far that sometimes he's caught in no man's land. There was a couple times where it's like he didn't even run back because he's too far up.
Right, and that's something that I'm surprised. I mean, he was up there a couple of times attacking,
Yeah.
and so that was, how's he going to get back if he's attacking? I
Yeah.
don't know if that's tactics by the coach or it's something that he's been doing, but I think that has a lot to do with the reason why he's getting caught.
But still, that's coaching. Even if it's him going on his free will. Like if he does it on his own, just going with the flow of the play, that's still coaching because the coach needs to then smack him in the back of his fluffy head and tell him to stop doing it. Right. So control your player if that's the case. Now I know that like the goal that New England scored, wasn't the best defending by Falcone, but I think more than anything, I think St. Clair should have saved that. I watched that again and again. I thought he could have saved that. I think he should have done a better job. I don't think
Yeah,
he's been the goalkeeper of the year. People in the chat keep saying they want Rocco. It might be time for Rocco. Now, St. Clair did make a couple of really good saves in this game, so he's not losing his job. Not yet.
right.
But personally, I would love to see Rocco in there now.
Yeah, I agree.
Francisco, this is a common comment that I'm seeing over and over again. On the TV, I saw the stadium full, but on your stream, I saw empty seats. Was it people going to the bathroom or getting food? So, this is something I see all over the internet. I see it in our comments. I think we're going to end up talking about this forever because it's going to be this way forever. So where the camera is filming basically where me and Ed sit. So it's filming the east side, which is pretty full because that's just your regular guys that can afford to go to the game and look, there's plenty. You watch the game on TV. There's still a bunch pockets of empty seats. But then where we film, we're filming the west side, the luxury side. Those people, some of them may be diehard fans like our buddy Patrick who sits over there, and we were fortunate enough to be invited to go over there once. But having gone over there once, we've also seen how nice it is. And how even from our seats, though, I don't know if you ever focused on this, Ed. From our seats, you can see right across us, you see that outside part, the bar that you can go inside, outside. You remember.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people just leaning up against that bar watching the game. They just want to hang out. And so they're not in their seats.
Right. Yeah. That's there's a lot of stuff going on. In that section because the bar is right there. You can just
Yeah.
turn around and you're still watching the game. Or like in our section, if you go down, you have to make lines and you made a video about that, so that's pretty interesting. But
Well, and also in my video, you'll notice that I get back to our seats about 6 or 7 minutes late, right? Because I was filming stuff. While I was filming, it wasn't only people in lines. It was that. But there was also people sitting in some areas that have nice cushy couches, even on our side. There's a section there, Ed, close to us that has it's branded for Lowe's that has nice, comfy like seats, and then there's another section that's branded for Publix, same kind of seating. Some people are just chilling. Like not everybody that goes to a game in Miami is there for the game. They might just be there for a nice night out
right,
and
yeah,
taking in the environment. And reality is you could see the game on the ribbon boards in the concourse, which I show in the video. So yes, we would love that every single fan that goes to that stadium to be diehard fans that want to have your butts glued to the seats and watch every second, but that's just not the reality of I don't know if it's the reality of the modern day fan or if it's the South Florida fan or if it's a byproduct of having so many other things to do in this cool stadium. I don't know what the total combination is, but at the end of the day, the seats were sold.
yeah.
All right. We'll end up talking about that again in about 2 weeks, probably.
Hmm.
But Francisco's got a valid point because that's what he sees on TV, and then he watches our game day vlog, and constantly people are saying, "Oh, it's stadium's empty." Blah, 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 blah. Now Francisco doesn't have that attitude, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, and that's not the case. I mean, the stadium was packed. At the time of the national anthem, everybody was, I think, at their seat. So for the most part, it was
Mm-hmm.
full. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see it was full.
Sports Shorts is asking me a question. I'm not sure why he's asking this question. Peter, didn't you make a spreadsheet with all the financial information? Yes, I do, but it's not really up to date yet because my numbers come from the MLS Players Association, which I think they put out the first one for the year, the first report like in May. I think it should be coming out soon. So then, at which point I can update
Mm.
it to this year's numbers. So right now I've got a lot of stuff that's like last year's numbers, so it's not really up to date. So I have to wait for the MLS Players Association. All right. What else? No voicemails. You guys don't want to talk today. Here, Chris Arjun. Maybe you should get Franco back on the show. He couldn't be the one for some juicy gossip. Let's talk about Franco Panizo, Inter Miami's number one enemy right now. 3 games in a
Hmm.
row, they have denied his accreditation. So
Credentials.
yeah, he's like kryptonite right now, though. But we would have no problem bringing him on, just because for one, we're friends with him, and two, the team doesn't give us anything. We're not
Mhm.
press. We're not. We pay for everything. They don't give us nothing, so we could say and bring him
Yeah,
on and do whatever we want. So yeah, maybe we
we
should,
could.
but I do know that if we bring on Franco, we're going to get a lot of hate on that show because as much as I love Franco, he does seem, and this is one thing we could talk to him about. He does seem to enjoy poking the bear that is the Messi maniacs. He does. I think he enjoys that, but it's not cool what's happening to him. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because I think he was the only journalist that actually went to all the games. They gave him a
They
prize for that.
they gave him a plaque saying he never missed a game, and now they've made him miss 3 games.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the irony behind it. But I would imagine it's because there's also so many people that are asking for press passes that
Yeah.
it's impossible. And they probably figure, well, he's going to talk crap about us anyway, so let's just not let him
Well, that's
come.
probably it. Because I was going to say,
Mm.
yes, there's probably a ton of people asking for accreditation that never did before. For one, because they're too lazy to drive to Fort Lauderdale or whatever. And him, Michelle Kaufman should be at the top of the list every single time. They should be guaranteed every single time because they were dedicated there from day one, right? They should be there.
Right.
But like you said,
Yeah.
he kind of is maybe, you know, done it to himself to some extent. But anyways, I don't want to talk about him too much. I mean, that's we could definitely have him on someday and uh, see where he stands. Kata's asking, can you ask Terry That's Noah Allen's dad. Why Hoyos has an agenda against Allen and Frey. Huh. So I don't know why you would say that. Allen has been starting. Now he comes out.
But they are taking him out. Yeah,
They
they
are
are
taking him
taking him
out
out early.
but he is starting.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he has anything against him. Frey, on the other hand, yeah, and when Frey comes in, we look better.
I agree. I think he's a better player, but
why do they keep putting in Mura?
It's worth more money. They want to, make sure they're paying their bucks, or I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Ian Frey's better.
Oh, here, Tabaquito has an answer. We need a Cuban-born soccer player on this team. That'll fix it.
No, there are none.
I mean, the most famous Cuban soccer player, at least in MLS, was Ozzy Alonso. He spent most of his career in Seattle, I think. In Seattle, wasn't it? Or was it Portland?
Seattle.
I think it was Seattle. So he was definitely the best. He's retired now. I remember when he first came here, he was one of those. There was like 5 Cuban players that came over here for like an international game, and they stayed. And he was one of those players. And I remember this was a story because at the time, Miami FC, some people were mentioning to Miami FC, the old Miami FC, Traffic Sports Miami FC that became the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, that some people were telling them that they should get these players just for nothing else but for good PR. And I think Ozzy was one of those players. They did not do it because they were also advised you should not do it for political reasons and all that kind of stuff. So I don't, but yeah, you find us a good Cuban player, and maybe that's what the old MLS used to do. MLS used to say, okay, you've got a lot of Colombians in your neighborhood, you got a lot of Cubans in your neighborhood, so let's get a player from each nationality so that maybe we can convince that those people that live in that area to come to the game. And that never worked. I mean, they did that with Haitian players and stuff like that. It just doesn't really work. Tabaquito says, as far as Cuban players, there's one in Spain really good. All right. Well, I don't know who he is. Tell us who he is. And yes, IL80 says Alonso retired. Yeah, I think he retired a while ago, but he played till he was pretty darn old. Good. He played till he was up there. He was really good. At one point, when we were starting out the team, I thought maybe it'd be a fun idea to do exactly that. Bring a Cuban player, right? For that same cheap reason that doesn't really work, but still might sound good. It sounds good in ideas. It doesn't generally work, but I thought maybe it might. Hey, look, it sounds like we finally got a voicemail. Let's get to it.
It's time for your voicemail.
Hello.
Hey, Peter and Uncle Ed and all the great fans out there. It's Italian One World, One Goal. Just want to give a quick shout out to Franco Panizo. Come on, Senor Mas. Por favor. Bring back his press ID. I know he gets a little annoying sometimes, but we love him. He's been covering soccer. I met him way back in like 2008, 2009 when my Diego Serna 17 was still playing, and he was up at the Red Bulls and in the greater New York area. Franco was covering everything for another good friend of ours, Dave Martinez, that ran a really good soccer blog up there. Back in the day, we had blogs. Before we had even this YouTube stuff, you guys were podcasting, but before we had so much video, it was more digital. And there's a lot of people that were really, really hard at work. As you know, he has also been the sub when Michelle Kaufman goes on vacation. He actually physically writes for the Miami Herald. So I really think whatever's going on, they need to give him back his credential. And we saw the way Phil Neville barked at him one time, but that was not his fault. We were bad on set pieces, which, by the way, we still do kind of need to work on that a little bit, but we have scored from some of them. Yeah, hang in there. It's just kind of weird. If you look at what Bruce Arena is doing, he's breaking records at 74 years old or 78 or however old he is. He's doing great. 74. We originally wanted him to coach down here. I do still think it wouldn't hurt if we were able to find a Spanish and MLS speaking coach. You know, like Francisco mentioned in the chat about Pareja, who had left just left Orlando, happens to be a friend of ours, also from Colombia, also played in MLS. There's a lot of talent out there. I think we're really rather handcuffed by this whole Messi and Friends era, but we got to think to the future. So there are some good rumors going on. Fingers crossed that things pick up, and I know Mr. Moss was looking towards bringing in big name players once Messi leaves too. Peace out. Love you guys. Love the show.
All right. Yeah. A lot of love for Franco. Franco does, he got yelled at by before. But like his stance, and he's right, is that his job is not to necessarily be a fanboy, is to ask the tough questions. So anyways, he's got his own show, so I'm sure he'll talk about it a lot too. So just go listen to his show. I'm sure he'll talk a lot about that.
Yeah, somebody was talking about the store. It's the lines are too long.
Oh,
what can we say about that, Peter?
What can I
you
say about that?
Peter?
Watch my video on Wednesday or Thursday when you drop it.
He'll tell you why and how that could be fixed.
But it is a problem. It is a problem. I do have a solution, and it's not exactly groundbreaking, but we'll talk about it in the game I was gonna say the game day vlog. It's not. It's kind of like a game day vlog, but it was what did I call it in the video? I don't know if you watched it. Did you watch it, Ed?
I watched it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's only a 10-minute video, but what did I call it? Investigative reporting. That was my investigative reporting. So, yeah, we'll put that out maybe on. I put a video out last Wednesday, and I'm going to try to put this one out on Thursday because it's a little bit closer to the weekend. So I think that video would be good information for people that are going to the game on the weekend on Saturday. So that would probably go in place of a Q&A video for this week. So we won't do the one question video. We have one in the can ready to be released, but we'll probably wait for the following week to release that. And since we have this one, that's a little more time sensitive. So, finishing up with a few odds and ends here. Kata's asking, how was the tri-rail my favorite part? So are you telling me, Kata, that riding the tri-rail was your favorite part of the day? Wow. I mean, riding the tri-rail makes it easy to get to the stadium, but it's hard to say it's my favorite part, but it does make it easy. It was Ed's, well, I was waiting for Ed to say something, then I thought, well, Ed can't say anything. He's never rode it. He doesn't know. I mean, you've ridden the tri-rail, but I mean, you haven't done it for this.
Yeah.
For this, you haven't done this
Right,
trip. Right. So you don't know. There's nothing for you to say. You don't know. But
I get to ride Julio's car to the game.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Ed gets chauffeured to the game.
I do.
Yeah. And and being all drugged up like you were, you need to be chauffeured.
I had to, man. I couldn't be driving.
All right. So Kata says, as far as the tri-rail, it's cool to be with fans and bond going there. Okay. I haven't really, to be honest, maybe I'm just I stick to myself. I haven't really talked to many people on the tri-rail except for people that I know. So like I saw not Daniel from the Battered Herons, Daniel from Southern Legion. Saw him on the train. I've seen a couple of, not this week, but the previous weeks I saw a couple of you guys on the train, some viewers on the train. That was fun. But as far as just random fans, I haven't really just talked to anybody. I'm generally just sitting there chatting with Caesar. And then Caesar's sometimes just hanging out, petting dogs the whole train ride. There was dogs on our train, Ed, and that's all Caesar cared about was the dogs. Just petting the dogs.
He likes his critters.
He does.
He likes his critters.
He does. He bonded very, very well with us. A message for you, Ed. Stop doing drugs.
Oh, I got what's called vertigo. So I have to take some pills and stuff. But yeah, it makes me a little drowsy, unfortunately. Yeah. But it keeps me working, so that's all that matters.
That's right. I've heard the thing about that crystals thing. I don't know how it happens or all, but I've heard people talk about that. It can be kind of scary. I'm sure it doesn't feel good.
It's kind of weird. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. But it happens.
Another random thing here at the end. Peter wants to go back to Chase just to get that first win. Exactly. Can we just get our winning mojo back in town? Because question, I don't know the answer to this question. How are the players getting to the stadium? Are the players driving to Fort Lauderdale at the training facility and hopping on a bus to Miami? Or do they drive their own vehicles to the stadium? I don't know the answer to this question. Do you, Ed?
I think they take the bus, man. A lot of them take the bus. I guess anybody who lives in Miami could drive themselves, but I think it's easier to take the bus.
Do you think they would do that as far as, okay, you two players live in Miami, you go, and I would think if we all go, we all go. But that would suck if you're like Messi and let's say you have a place in Miami, you drive all the way to Fort Lauderdale, an hour to Fort Lauderdale just to take an hour back home and then go back. Oh, that would suck. That would.
Oh, maybe they got a place in Miami where, hey, everybody meet up at so and so's house and we'll pick you up from there. So they pick up the
Kata
Fort
says
Lauderdale
they bus
guys.
from Drive Pink. Yeah, and here's the thing is, I figured that would be the situation just because two reasons. One, there's still so much gravel everywhere. There's still a lot of construction everywhere. I don't know if there is per se a team parking area for the most part, or if there ever will be. And it does make sense that the training facility in Fort Lauderdale is where they go to work, right? That's the office. If you think about it, they're there every single week. Here, yeah, I like what Revelor says. Players take the tri-rail.
That would be fun for Peter Brown.
That would be awesome. Now that, Kata, would be fun. Tabaquito says, has anybody counted the seats? I think it's like 40,000. I don't know what you're talking about. The stadium is 26,700. The tri-rail holds like 500 and something people. So I don't know what you're talking about, but you can.
I think he's talking about the stadium. He thinks it looks like there's more people. I did hear a comment that somebody said that they could fit more seats, but I don't know. There are some sections that I noticed that don't have seats.
Up in the corners, but it's not thousands of seats. It's maybe a couple hundred that they could put up there, right? You know, at the most.
Right.
That's obviously for some weird reason. I don't know why. Julio says they probably get there in the bus and go home with their families and their vehicles. Maybe. FIFA Highlights is saying, where you guys at? I want to see you guys at the stadium. All right. Well, good way to end the show. You could find us before the game in the yellow lot, sitting by a Hyundai drinking beer. That's easy. So basically, if you are parked in the yellow lot anywhere and you're walking to the stadium, you're going to walk by us. Because you and Julio are getting there so early, you're basically getting that first spot that everybody walks past.
Yeah.
So you'll see us there. If not, come see us in section 219, row 12.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
That's where we sit. Section 219, row 12. So that's where we our seats are. So if you see, we're a little bit high up, but not too high up, so that we're not getting too much cut off of the screen. Originally, we always wanted to sit in the second row just for affordability in the second level, but we were going to sit in the front row of the second. And when we were buying our seats, we looked at the imagery, the computer imagery that where we were buying our seats, and we saw that there was a possibility of our view being blocked by the railings. And apparently that is the case. I haven't actually gone and sit there. I need to get into the seats a little bit earlier, maybe next game, and go sit there and just see how bad is it really. But I heard other people talk about it. So
it does cover you, especially if we're looking towards on the right-hand side. There's some railings that are a little too high. I think that would have totally blocked our view of the game. That would have sucked for us and for you guys, because you guys would have seen those rails there. I would have had to been standing the whole time. And I was on seat 1. Thankfully, our good buddy Caesar has been letting me sit in his, which is on seat 4. and from there I don't get blocked by all the people coming
On
down
the aisle,
the
up and down the
aisle.
aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been another impediment, but he's been gracious enough to let me
That is
sit
cool.
on 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. There's some questions in there about the strikers. We could talk about that another time. It's BS, really. It's just a 7-on-7 tournament. Don't get that excited. People on the internet got all excited. Oh, the strikers are back. I got thoughts on that. But we could talk about that another time. Hang on. One last thing. FIFA is really trying to nail it down. So for the Orlando City game, y'all will be at Section 219, Row 12. Yes. Seats 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. That's our seats every game. We're there every game. So yes, come find us.
Yeah.
Love to say hi to you.
Yeah.
All right, Ed. What else we got? Do we have anything coming out on the Spanish channel?
There should be we're gonna record, I think, tomorrow. It might be out on Monday, so go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna try to do some more shorts and stuff out of the videos that we had. There's a vlog. Don't miss the vlog. That's a good one. Peter's also doing his investigative reporting. That's gonna be great. Don't miss that one. It's a really good one. I think that's it for content, Peter Brown.
All right. So thanks everybody for watching, and like Chris Arjun said, everybody hit that like button and also click that join button if you've enjoyed everything you've seen so far, and support the channel. So see you later, everybody, and we'll do this again next week.